really important that we begin to change the mindset of young people to know that your vote counts.
They don't understand that the legislative arm of government is actually a co-equal arm of government.
We have an incredible amount of potential.
Whatever it is I was doing, because of my personal DNA, it had to be of an international standard, which is what, seriously speaking, is all about.
Welcome to the show today. Just a few weeks ago, we're celebrating fathers around the world. You know what the World Wide Web has done to us? Things are done internationally and we just follow suit. I know my husband complains all the time that there's so many Mother's Days. How many Father's Day do we have? One. While we're celebrating Father's Day, on my mind were two recent occurrences that made me realize, where are the fathers? So in celebrating fathers today, I wanted a conversation around this issue. Now, there was a case of young men attempting, as they say, to rape girls after school was over. And there was a recent case also of a kidnapper who has children and was publicly declared. And we saw the children. And I'm wondering, who are the role models? What kind of role models exist for our young men, especially against the backdrop of the fact that there's a lot of training and raising and empowering of our young girls? But what kind of men will they pair up with in future? So today on the show, we are speaking about where are the fathers? Don't go away. Now, to situate this, I'd played that little video for you to understand people's perception of who their father really is. At the end of the next 25 minutes or so, my discussants will help you to understand exactly what fatherhood is, what expectations are, what the problem is, as well as how we can solve it. So it's my pleasure to begin by introducing, well, now not so young, a young man I met about 11 years ago when he invited me to a conference all the way in Adegunle. For me, that was all the way in Adegunle in Lagos, talking about sex with the young ones. Sex to Sex was what he called the conference, and he invited me to it. But I'm very pleased to see how far he has come to become what I call a family engineer, teaching families how to be better at the job that they do raising kids. It's my pleasure to welcome and set on Seriously Speaking today, Praise Fowowe.
So this way it's nice being here.
So you're no more a small boy. Your wife has fed you fat.
Yeah, but I'm still your boy, you know.
You still are, but I mean, your wife must be proud of the kind of man that you are. Where did you role model yourself? Because you're a father of a son and a daughter.
Yes.
And I know that they watch you carry plates, do all sorts of things, wash clothes. Yeah. How did you end up being that kind of person?
Well, I've always asked questions all my life. I remember way back when I was growing up, I mean, I never saw my dad do all those things. Of course, he did some other things that I thought groomed me for who I have become today.
So he was your own primary role model?
Oh, yeah. I mean, but there were things I started asking. I started asking questions about why is it that women are the only ones who cook? Why is it that women are the only ones who wash plates? And I saw my mom toil and toil and toil. But interestingly, my mom put me in the kitchen. My mom taught me how to fix everything, including pastries while growing up. You know, so as I started growing around, I saw the African fathers, I saw what I saw around me, and I didn't quite like it. So I started asking myself, Praise, what can you do differently? Then it occurred to me that the most important nation on earth is actually your family, because the family is the production factor of the society.
Absolutely.
So I said to myself, okay, Praise, so over time I'd interviewed a lot of people who were running the kind of family that I thought were role model families. You know, I've learned their principles. So I said, okay, if I get a marriage, I'm going to practice this. Interestingly, I got a woman who was as crazy as I was way back. And so we said to ourselves, okay, you know what? For this family, we had never seen any family have a family vision, family values. We're going to create a family vision. We're going to
decide to put it down.
Yeah, we'll put it down. So if you get to my house up till now, as you step into my house, the first thing you see is a family vision. You see our family values. So we have created a family constitution. We created all kinds of governing systems around our home, right? And when my friends started coming in, after this was about 3 years into the marriage, they started saying, and they were like, oh, Praise, can you teach us how you did this? Can you teach us how you... And that was how we started training people on how these things work, to say that a system is never emotional. The moment the system is emotional, it affects the final output. The challenge we've had over time is people are bigger than the system in their family. So nobody can call you to order. So you see a man who who is rigging election in the family, in the state, right? And people don't know that he's been rigging election from his family.
Okay, you talk about the experience of your father having taught you some basic things. That's what I mean, I'd like you to talk about that. That you can't take a penny because your father taught you never to take a penny.
My dad conditioned me not to steal because my father would put a coin on his table and use a pencil to circle it. Then he will send you to his room. My father is not going to kill you for stealing the money. He's going to kill you for moving it out of the circle. He calls it attempted stealing. By the time he's finished vlogging you, he will now ask you to bring your pocket, ask you to pull it out. Then he will say to you, when you steal what is not yours, it tears your pocket, such that when you begin to make your money, it never stays.
So Anna stayed with you?
It stayed with me.
Okay.
My father taught me never to go late for meetings. He would say to me, Praise, it's better they are waiting for you. I mean, it's better you are waiting for them than for them to be waiting for you. So it's arrogance, right? So those were basic things that my father taught me, right? And I literally picked them from. So when I started doing business and I'll take money from a client and maybe there is a leftover, I'll take it there to say, hey, can you take your, and he's looking at me wondering, are you a pastor? You know, where is this coming from? But it was my dad.
So what I'm saying, I would like to take a break here so I can introduce the other father I'm going to speak with. But the point you've made here is that your father, no matter what it is, determines at least the moral values that you live by.
Yes.
And that could help you go on and on.
Absolutely.
But again, what I see is that father was present in your life.
He was not totally present, but, well, because my dad he was everywhere traveling, but the quality time he spent was memorable for me.
So I'll be right back with my next guest. Thank you very much for the first few minutes, but let me engage my next guest for another few minutes before we begin to iron this thing out thoroughly. So we'll be right back with my next guest, if you don't go away. Okay, it's a pleasure to introduce my next guest. I met him long before I met Ultima Studios, but however, he manages Ultima Studios. But my first interaction with him was as a father, as a parent in a school to which I was invited because he, as the PTA chairman, had come up with the idea of having fathers and sons band. So now you know, as we're talking Father's Day, it just had to be Tunji Adebakin. Welcome, Tunji, on set again.
You know, this is the first time I'm here.
Yeah, so what's it like to be on the other side?
All of these days and years.
You know, but the same excellence, obviously, why did I invite you? The same excellence that you put into trying to get Ultima to do right, it appears you put it also in raising your kids, boys and girls. Definitely.
I think I was lucky. Right from before I got married, I always wanted to be a great father. So I started bathing my kids when they were small, as in really small. Afraid.
Even your daughter?
Everybody. Well, I only have 3, so I definitely wasn't going to leave her out. And up until when they were 10, we used to take our baths together.
So what was those bath times like? Were you teaching them things? Were you, you know?
All sorts of things. It basically enabled me to talk to my kids, to find out what they were doing, what they were doing in school. I used to teach my son the scriptures.
Which of them, the first or the second?
First song.
Okay.
Well, actually all of them. But I mean, there's still this song in my head that we still sing. And I taught him in the bathroom.
Yes.
So it's really...
What's that song?
You want me to sing it?
Absolutely.
I have a fantastic voice, so you need to pardon that.
Go ahead.
It's a scripture, it's Philippians 4:13. It says, really, really simple song, and it's just basically the scriptures.
I'll sing along.
Give me one second.
I'll sing along.
I'm gonna clear my throat because it's not good. It's not going to sound too nice.
No, go ahead.
I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so we'll sing it together. Because that, for me, was a way of teaching him the scriptures. But they had to be fun, because it was still pretty much.
What was your son experience like? That's you being a son. You know, and how did that help you determine, I want to be a great father? I
had plenty of challenges with being
a son
to my father, because he was kind of not there.
Is he dead now?
No, he's not. He's very much alive.
So he's going to be watching this?
I hope so. I will tell him.
Okay.
No, but he wasn't totally there. But I'll tell you something. Because he wasn't there, I felt the need to struggle to succeed. And I did. And so I look back now, and even though I didn't quite like it then, I realized that if he was there, I probably would have turned out quite the kind of person that I am right now. So I'm very thankful to him, in quote, for kind of toughening me up the way he did by kind of not being there.
That was his style?
Yes.
You chose a different style?
Yes.
So are you raising soft boys?
I don't think so. I found out that all our kids are different, every single one. They're totally, absolutely unique. what works for one doesn't work for the second one and doesn't work for the third one. So we have 3 kids. My first is a sanguine. My second one is more a phleg.
That's language. Sanguine is his...
Okay, so my first boy is creative. He's outgoing. He makes friends easily. He doesn't have any worries. Doesn't plan long term. My second one is the long term.
That can be worrisome for a father.
Oh, very much so.
That's your first son.
That's a challenge, but it's a good one. But I know, so that makes it easier. My plans for my second son are totally different because he's a long-range thinker, sets goals, achieves them, has a lot of determination, gets what he wants. They're 2 totally different people, and I don't handle them the same way either. So I'm very clear about who they are. Mm-hmm. I'm very clear about what I need to do with each of them. So it's important as a father that you understand your children. Mm-hmm. I think that fathers are stewards, and so you have a responsibility to know what resources God has placed in your care, and of course to make the best use of it. Mm-hmm. So children really are meant for us to mold and to nurture.
So now my concern is the boys. Who should boys be modeling themselves after?
They really don't have an option. Between ages 1 to 10, it is a father, if the father is present.
Okay, so I must take a break. That's the point at which I can take a break now and come back and have the conversation together.
Okay.
Thank you for engaging, and I thank you for the lovely song that you did too. And right now, for us to be able to take down real experiences, I'm going to get the 2 of them together in my panel section to discuss this, and you will learn a thing or 2 if you don't go away. Yes, the good thing about this section of the program is you can be part of this conversation very clearly by joining us on our social media handles, which I'm going to put on screen for you to see. And if you think otherwise from what Tunji or Praise thinks, please let me know. But now I want both of them to define for me what really is parenting in your perspective. You are the professional that teaches people, yeah. Right? Mm-hmm.
Parenting, if you look at, I always love to process things from the etymological point of view to say, what's the source of this word? When was the first time it was used? Parenting is actually the word bring forth. It actually means someone who can bring forth the potential that is resident in a child and that can bring it to life in a way that becomes usable and it can influence other people's behavior.
So whether it's a father or a mother, if you're a parent, you are bringing forth.
Yes.
You agree with that, obviously?
Yeah, totally.
But how does it play out in reality?
My brother lives in the UK, says that parenting is a 21-year investment.
Who's the brother? Is he older or younger?
Younger.
Okay.
He says in the UK, it's a 21-year investment. That's what parenting is as far as it's concerned. So you're paying fees.
Okay, you're spending money.
You're nurturing. No, but actually 21 years is really good time to nurture.
Yeah.
And I think parenting really is all about nurturing and understanding why God has placed us in a position where we can nurture
another being.
Yes. Another generation, a completely different generation.
Do your kids send you gifts? I'm sure it's your daughter that sends you more.
Yes, you're absolutely,
we are the loving
totally
ones.
Right.
Your kids are still too young.
They're not too young.
Do they give you gifts for Father's Day?
They make cards.
They make cards. Yeah. So the whole idea is fathers need to be more present, whether they're your biological kids or not. Let's be more present for our boys. Don't let the internet raise them. Be very deliberate and teach them the values that are right. Are we agreed?
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Thank you so much for watching. But remember, you can catch this show on this channel or on the other channels, which I will show you every Sunday. So that's how it's been today on Seriously Speaking. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.